Hi there, Evan here with Crypto and Markets for Thursday, April 19th, 2018. Mentioned this in a couple of videos the past 2 weeks about oil having its 2008 moment. My reason for doing today's video, I want to touch on another area of this, besides the geopolitical end, that I think is even more important. Firstly, mentioned it before, I'll just briefly touch on it here. Both in 2008 and 2018, the last spike in oil has always been geopolitical driven. In 2008, as the market was already going down, there was concerns about the Iran nuclear program and the US putting sanctions on Iran to cut off supply into the market. And the oil price at that time went up from 100 to 140 and then came crashing right back down to earth. In 2018, the market started going down roughly in about January. The oil price is held in here. And then now it looks like it was starting to go down with the market. The conflict in Syria arises, and everyone's worried about oil flows being cut into Europe from the pipelines. So again, there's the geopolitical end of it. But there's another more important aspect of it, which I haven't touched on. Demand destruction. I mean, you can even look this up. This is a true phenomenon. In fact, in 2009, because of course at the beginning of the year, it was led off, of course, by the continued recession from the financial crisis of 2007-2008, oil demand that year was down 1.4 million barrels. The same thing is happening this time that happened in 2008. Oil price goes up, which then means, as the consumer is already tapped out on the debt side and on the monetary side as well, they now have the higher gasoline price cut into whatever disposable income they have left, and then their only option is to cut back on their discretionary spending, stop going out, use less gasoline. All there is to it. Now again, your counter argument might be on that. U.S. oil inventories now are below the 5-year average, and the OECD oil inventory is now only about 10 million barrels above it. As far as the U.S. goes, it's simple. Because of the export moratorium being lifted, the U.S. now is exporting more than 500,000 barrels than last year. Okay? Right now, it's about 550,000 barrels a day more. They're exporting more than last year. And imports, as OPEC said as part of the production cut, they're going to be exporting less to the United States. Those are down about 1 million barrels a day. Now factor all that in. Factor in the 1.5 million barrels a day the U.S. doesn't have. On essentially shale output alone, U.S. oil inventories are now higher than at the beginning of the year. So if U.S. oil demand was so strong, why wouldn't they be then 50 or 100 million barrels less than the beginning of the year? I mean, think about it. We're already 3.5 months in. You take 5 million barrels, you multiply it by 16, it's 80 million. And another thing as well. Everyone else keeps mentioning, there's strong demand out of Europe. I'll leave it at this. A great article came out either yesterday or this morning from Platts, I'm not sure. I'll link it down below anyways, I have the link. If oil demand in Europe was so strong, then why are they exporting their glut to Singapore? If you can answer that for me, leave a comment down below, please. But to summarize the video, forget everything else you're hearing about the oil markets right now. There is no supply disruptions. The glut's just being exported from one place to another around the world. And the slowdown in the economy, most importantly, will start to hit consumer spending. And hence, because people aren't going out as much now, will hit oil demand as well. I'll go ahead and leave it here. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at CryptoMarkets2. Y'all take care, everybody.